Hey everyone, this is Natalie with Debug, and today we're going to be talking about what to do within the first 24 hours of your loved one being detained by ICE. So this flyer was created by families who have loved ones that were currently facing similar experiences through the ICE process and that are currently fighting to bring their loved ones home from detention centers. Also speaking a little bit about ICE and the current administration, how they're really unpredictable right now. They're cruel with these raids that they're doing and are not being held accountable. They're also kidnapping folks during this time. So this resource that we're going to be going through is going to demand accountability and due process for our loved ones. Okay, so one of the first steps we're going to work on is being prepared. So having a family, a friend, or just a community advocate that has a lawful status, being the point person with ICE. We want to make sure that person is okay to speak to them, and we're not also at risk of getting someone else detained. Or also being prepared with having your local rapid response network hotlines. So here are some of the ones that we have, but if you're not able to locate them here, you can also try to find them online, just Googling the name of your city and rapid response networks. We also want to make sure we have basic information about the person that is being detained, so their legal full name, their date of birth, their A number. Another thing that we want to begin gathering is documents that about your loved one's community ties and showing that they are not a danger to our community. If possible, also begin gathering community support letters. So if that person has been involved in the church, in community organizations, or through their work, I think those things would also be really helpful. Also begin gathering receipts, just showing that they've been here for X amount of years. So anything like pay stubs, cell phone bills, rent receipts, any medical records, school records. I think that would be really helpful, showing the amount of time that this person has been here as well. And most importantly, showing that they are not a danger to our community. So if the person has had an incident in the past, we want to start collecting some of these documents, but also showing that they have rehabilitated. So maybe gathering any DUI classes that they've taken, community service, therapy, anything that can help show what this person has worked on. So the reason why we're collecting all this information is because we want to show that this person is not a threat in our community, right? We want to show that they've had ties to this community for X amount of years, showing that they have family, that they've been involved in their community, and especially showing to ICE that they are not a threat to anybody in this community. So we just talked about gathering information about your loved one's case. So now we're going to move on to trying to get information about where your loved one is being detained. Also to see if they were given a bond, and also trying to find out who their ERO officer is. So the first step is finding out where your loved one is being detained. So you can look that up on the ICE locator website. Usually it can take about a day or two for their name to pop up in the system. So you can locate them either with their A number, and if they don't have that, you can search them up with their first and last name, their date of birth. So this is where it can kind of get a little tricky. So if they have two last names, try to switch them up and various different ways, because sometimes they do put them in the system wrong. So just something to keep in mind. So another step you can take if you're not able to find them through the ICE locator is calling the San Francisco ICE office. So we have their numbers up here, also their email information. So you're going to let them know that you're a family or friend calling about the status and whereabouts of where your loved one is. You're going to ask them questions once again. It's about if they have a bond, where they're going to be placed, and their ERO officer. Also keep in mind that we do not want to share any information about your loved one. So do not give them their place of birth. Do not give them any criminal history or any information they try to ask you. Don't answer any of that. So moving on to step number 3, if we're not able to get a hold of ICE over the phone or through email, we're going to visit the field office in San Francisco if possible. So we're going to go in, you're going to let them know the same information, let them know that you're a family, a friend, trying to find out the status of your loved one, and also asking the same questions as we asked prior. Also keep in mind, same thing, we do not want to share any information about the status of your loved one, so their place of birth or criminal history. Also just a reminder that we want to make sure the person that goes inside is somebody that has status, because we do not want to put anybody else at risk. Moving on to step number 4 is trying to get legal consultation for your loved one, contacting a trusted immigration attorney. And if you cannot afford to hire a private attorney, there are plenty of nonprofit organizations that we can try to reach out to try and get representation for your loved one. Also, make sure you have all the documents that we collected before, because this is where all this information is going to become very valuable for your loved one's case. So if we're not able to get a hold of an attorney, an option that we can do is also submitting a custody redetermination/release request with ICE. So keeping in mind that the person submitting this request is somebody with lawful status. So what we're going to do is print the request here and submit it with ICE. That person is going to call the ERO officer and submit the third-party waiver. They're going to ask why your loved one is being detained, if he or she has a court hearing coming up, and if they are bond eligible. That person is also going to ask to submit a custody redetermination request with the ERO officer. So basically, what proof would ICE need in order to reconsider your loved one's release, either on their own recognizances, if, for example, a $1,500 bond, or through any alternative detention program that they would be willing to release your loved one on. And lastly, we're going to submit a custody redetermination request along with all the information that we've already mentioned from up above. If the ICE officer is being uncooperative, make sure you ask for their supervisor, or you can also ask for the community relations officer. And the last step would be to attend your loved one's immigration court hearing if they have one coming up. So in order to find out when their next immigration court hearing is, you can call this hotline over here. Also keep in mind that bond hearings do not appear on this hotline. In order to find out if your loved one has a bond hearing coming up, you're going to call a different number that we have listed up above. Once we find out whether your loved one has a court hearing coming up, we're going to attend that first court hearing at this office at the immigration court in San Francisco, but keep in mind that could also vary and change depending each case. And if your loved one has a bond hearing coming up, we're going to attend that hearing with family, community support, all the information that we've previously gathered as well. We're going to submit that with support letters, pictures, documents. And we're going to show the immigration judge and ICE officers who this person really is and who we know them to be in our community. Also keep in mind, for those that don't have immigration status, make sure to check in with the attorney to see if it's safe for that person to attend the court hearing. So the reason why this is important is because these are the steps that we can take as family and community to fight for our loved ones inside and essentially try to bring them home. We are not going to wait around for the immigration system to take our loved ones away. This is a way that we can help our loved ones come home and a way to fight back against the system. You can download this flyer in English and in Spanish at our website, siliconvalleydebug.org.